What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel Demita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. Today, I have some WNBA offseason updates for you guys. So let's talk firstly about what's going on with the CBA negotiations. Now, Adam Silver has caused quite a stir in WNBA world because he just went on the Today Show and he was talking about the WNBA CBA. And here's what he had to say. He said, "I think share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. They are going to get a big increase in this cycle of collective bargaining, and they deserve it." So what he's talking about here is the revenue share that the players have been fighting.
They clapped back directly. The WNBPA, in a stunning public display, took to Instagram, tagging Adam Silver himself with a screenshot from his interview demanding "don't want to share" at Adam Silver. This wasn't a private negotiation. This was a digital mic drop, an unprecedented move that immediately set the WNBA world ablaze, fueling drama instead of dialogue. It was a brazen, almost childish challenge to the league's authority, unfolding at a time when the sport's biggest star was already sending shockwaves through the world of professional sports. The optics were terrible, raising questions about professionalism and what exactly such an aggressive social media post could possibly achieve beyond igniting more public friction. The silence that followed was deafening, yet the controversy only intensified.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about Caitlyn Clark flexing her muscles when it comes to being one of the most powerful women in all of sports. And I think this is an interesting list that Forbes put out. There are two WNBA players on here. By the way, for all the Unrivaled, it's not a conflict of interest.
This explosive social media post was a direct response to Adam Silver's comments on the Today Show, where he discussed the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement. Silver stated, "Share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. They are going to get a big increase in this cycle of collective bargaining, and they deserve it." He was pushing back on the players' demand for a higher percentage of revenue split, currently stuck at a mere 9%, while NBA players enjoy 50%. This disparity, he implied, was too vast to simply share equally, sparking the union's very public and visceral reaction that reverberated across social media platforms, igniting a firestorm of debate.
Percent of their league. The NBA owns another 40% of it. And then there's a group of investors that Cathy Engelbert got on board in 2022 who own another 18% of this league. So the WNBA, the revenue that they get, they only own 42% of that. So it's going to be very hard. And I've been saying this from the beginning. This is not just a WNBA players and WNBA owners conversation that is happening. There are so many other pieces to this puzzle. There are so many other big business people, NBA players, meaning NBA owners and people in this world. There are so many different players to the puzzle when it comes to trying to get these players.
The underlying financial structure of the WNBA makes this revenue sharing debate far more complex than it appears on the surface. Unlike the NBA, the WNBA doesn't even fully own its own league. They control just 42%, with the NBA holding another 40% and a group of investors secured by Cathy Engelbert in 2022 owning the remaining 18%. This intricate web of ownership means any significant increase in player revenue share isn't just a negotiation between players and WNBA owners. It's a multifaceted business puzzle involving the NBA and powerful external investors. Achieving a revenue split anywhere near the NBA's 50% is a near impossibility under the current framework, a reality often overlooked in the heat of the public debate.
Tied for 9th on this list, the Forbes most powerful women in sports list in America. Why? What was the leading reason? Founders of Unrivaled. Okay, once again, we want to hear how there's no conflict of interest there. Okay, and to give you an idea, I tell you what makes this list pretty impressive and where Caitlyn Clark ends up on it. You just take this lady right here. You may be like, well, Rhodes, who is this?
Amidst this swirling storm of contractual disputes and public spats, Caitlyn Clark has delivered a stunning counter-narrative, proving her undeniable league-altering power. Forbes recently unveiled its list of America's most powerful women in sports, placing Clark at an astonishing number 4. This isn't just a list, it's a testament to her monumental impact, an impact so profound, it cuts through the internal drama and shines a spotlight on the potential growth the WNBA could achieve with her at the forefront. Her recognition on such an esteemed list speaks volumes about her influence, creating a stark contrast with the league's ongoing professional disagreements.
Interview and posted this in their Instagram story. You guys, I do not know what they think doing that will accomplish. You know how there's that meme where it's like 0 days of whatever? It's like 0 days of being a professional sports organization. Like, what does that do? What does that do? It's so similar to when they did the whole clapback thing and it was like, we call BS and we see you. It's like, I don't understand what posting this does besides stir up more drama. People are like, ooh, look at them. Look, it's like, no, we're acting like children. Should be acting like a professional organization. You have to work out these things at the
Forbes' blurb on Caitlyn Clark hailed her as the spark that lit the match that set women's sports on fire. Her estimated $8.1 million income from her rookie season alone, bolstered by mega deals with Nike, Wilson, and Gatorade, signals a seismic shift in how female athletes are valued. This isn't just about basketball, it's about transcending the sport and captivating a global audience. Her inclusion at number 4 on a list featuring owners of NFL and NBA teams underscores the sheer magnitude of her brand and the unprecedented commercial appeal she brings, fundamentally reshaping the economic landscape for women in professional athletics, creating an entirely new benchmark for success.
Franchise with marketing rights in France, partnering with the Paris Musketeers of the European League of Football. I didn't even know there was such an animal. And he goes on to talk about her other work. Guys, when you're talking about NFL owners, in general, right there, you're talking about pretty much the most elite 32 in all of sports. Never mind NBA owners, none of that. And I understand they say, well, there's a combined value of $8.35 billion on the Saints. And
the Forbes list also featured other prominent WNBA figures, including Neficia Collier and Breanna Stewart, who tied for 9th place due to their founding of Unrivaled. Aja Wilson, Dawn Staley, and Becky Hammon also secured spots, recognizing their significant contributions and influence within the sports world. However, the elevation of Unrivaled's founders reignited discussions about potential conflicts of interest as their dual roles as players and league entrepreneurs continued to draw scrutiny. The list itself became a talking point, not just for those included, but for the nuanced dynamics it revealed about power, influence, and the evolving landscape of women's professional sports.
Kind of covering all of this, and Alexa Filippo posted a screenshot from the article. And here was the statement that a WNBA spokesperson made. So they said, as the WNBA has stated repeatedly, we agreed with the players that they deserve to be paid more and, importantly, to participate in the success and growth of the league by sharing in revenue. The comprehensive proposal we've provided to the Players Association includes both significant guaranteed salary cap increases and substantial uncapped revenue sharing that enables players' salaries to grow as the league's business grows. And then a representative from the WNBPA said, when the players opted out a year ago, they made it clear that they wanted a salary.
To fully grasp the magnitude of Clark's number 4 ranking, consider some of the companies she keeps. Gail Benson, owner of the New Orleans Saints and Pelicans, with teams valued at over $8.35 billion, also made the list. Yet Clark, a rookie, landed higher. This illustrates that her power isn't merely financial, it's a unique, transformative cultural leverage. An NFL owner represents entrenched generational wealth and established dominance, but Clark's meteoric rise and undeniable star power transcended these traditional metrics. She's not just powerful within her sport, she's recognized as a seismic force shaping the entire American sports landscape, defying all previous expectations.
$8-9 billion. Because in the National Football League, you get a bidding war. So that's why when Caitlyn Clark comes in as the 4th most powerful woman in sports. By the way, in case you're wondering, Angel Reese is not on this list. As if she should be. Coco Gauff's on here. Serena Williams is on here. But Angel's not here.
The assertion that Caitlyn Clark is not just the most powerful woman in basketball, but in all of women's sports holds significant weight. Her impact extends beyond the court, demonstrably bringing unprecedented viewership to the WNBA. The statistics don't lie. When her injury sidelined her for the remainder of her rookie season, interest in the league, measured by various metrics, reportedly plummeted. This dramatic dip underscores her singular ability to captivate audiences and drive engagement, a power that even established icons like Serena Williams or Coco Gauff, while influential, don't currently exert with such immediate and measurable impact on an entire league's public visibility.
Importantly, to participate in the success and growth of the league by sharing and revenue. The comprehensive proposal we've provided to the Players Association includes both significant guaranteed salary cap increases and substantial uncapped revenue sharing that enables players' salaries to grow as the league's business grows. And then a representative from the WNBPA said, when the players opted out a year ago, they made it clear that they wanted a salary system that values their labor and allows them to grow with the business they are clearly driving. The league's response has been to run out the clock, put lipstick on a pig, and retread a system that isn't tied to any part of the business and intentionally undervalues the player.
This stark reality, Clark's unparalleled audience draw versus the WNBPA's public drama, creates a fascinating tension. While the union fights for better revenue share, relying on professional conduct at the negotiating table, its public clapback risks alienating the very fans Clark brought in, detracting from the positive momentum she generated. The league desperately needs Clark's star power to push for greater financial stability and growth, yet the ongoing, messy public disputes threaten to undermine the entire endeavor. It's a delicate balance, where the future of the league and its ability to capitalize on its newfound attention hangs in the balance, entangled in internal strife.
To be quite honest, Caitlyn Clark has turned her record-breaking college basketball career into early dominance in the WNBA. Her estimated $8.1 million in income from her rookie season with the Fever was bolstered by big deals with Nike, Wilson, and Gatorade, and signals a shift in how female athletes are being valued in the world of professional sports. Last month, the Fever announced that Clark would be sidelined with an injury for the remainder of the WNBA season to focus on her recovery, but the injury doesn't change.
Following the WNBPA's social media post, the WNBA issued a sharp counter-statement through a spokesperson, asserting that they had indeed offered a comprehensive proposal, including significant guaranteed salary cap increases and substantial uncapped revenue sharing. They accused the Players Association of misrepresentations and repeatedly refusing to engage in any meaningful way, labeling the union's accusations of stalling as simply not true. This volley of public accusations further exposed the deep chasm between the two sides, painting a picture of deeply entrenched positions and a severe breakdown in professional communication. Each side dug in, making a resolution appear increasingly distant.
To Adam Silver, stick with me. They said it is incorrect and surprising that the Players Association is claiming that the WNBA has not offered an uncapped revenue sharing model that is directly tied to the league's performance. The comprehensive proposals we have made to the players include a revenue sharing component that would result in the players' compensation increasing as league revenue increases without any cap on the upside. It is frustrating and counterproductive for the union to be making misrepresentations about our proposals while also accusing the league of engaging in delay. That is simply not true. While we have delivered comprehensive proposals that seek an agreement that will benefit.
The WNBPA retorted again, claiming the league's proposal was merely lipstick on a pig and a retread system that isn't tied to any part of the business and intentionally undervalues the players. They directly cited Adam Silver's initial comments, stating, "Share isn't the word, it's not in their vocabulary," accusing the league's leadership of lacking transparency and accountability. This back-and-forth public shaming campaign, instead of private, good-faith negotiations, continued to escalate the drama, frustrating fans who simply want to enjoy the sport. It became less about policy and more about a war of words played out in front of a global audience.
Relevancy. Because that is the interest that she brings. I mean, we're talking about the kind of interest that Olympians bring. I mean, that's something. I don't think there's any argument here. I don't think there has been for a very long time. And make no mistake about it, the WNBA Players Union, all these players, they need her.
The speaker in the original transcript expressed profound frustration, calling the WNBPA's social media tactics childish and a stark contrast to how a professional sports organization should operate. The sentiment was clear: such public drama is draining to cover and ultimately detrimental to the league's momentum, potentially turning off new fans drawn by the game itself, not the theatrics. When the focus shifts from basketball to endless controversy, the integrity and growth of the sport suffer. It's a plea for professionalism, reminding everyone that real issues demand serious negotiation, not just sensationalist headlines, lest the league loses its vital audience.
New CBA as quickly as possible. So this spokesperson is essentially saying that the Players Association is lying and that they're not stalling, and the Players Association are the ones who are stalling, and they've actually given them something where the players' revenue will increase as the league increases. So again, this is all hearsay. We don't know what's going on, but it continues to be messy. I don't know how much of a revenue percentage that they want, but it's going to be nearly impossible to change the current structure of the WNBA unless you burn the whole thing down and start it anew. Because basically, the NBA came in order for the WNBA.
A crucial aspect of Clark's influence is her agent, Erin Kane, who also made the Forbes list at number 25. Kane's inclusion was directly attributed to her representation of Caitlyn Clark, specifically securing that massive Nike deal reportedly worth $28 million over 8 years. However, the interview suggests this deal, while substantial, might actually be a significant undervaluation for Clark given her explosive market power. Actual robbery was the phrase used. This highlights an interesting paradox. Clark's agent is powerful asterisks because asterisks of Clark, yet the deal itself might not fully reflect Clark's true worth, raising questions about future negotiations and her long-term financial trajectory. The fundamental issue remains the lack of transparency surrounding the WNBA's financial performance. Despite repeated requests and exhaustive digging, concrete, verifiable numbers on the league's true earnings and valuation remain elusive. Without clear data on revenue and profitability, it's impossible to objectively assess the players' demands for a higher revenue share or the league's claims of limited financial flexibility. This opacity fuels distrust and makes good faith negotiations incredibly difficult, leaving both players and fans in the dark about the true health and potential of the league. It is a critical barrier to resolving the current bitter dispute.
And I don't even necessarily want to side with the business people on this, because I do want to see the women get paid more. I do want to see the league continue to grow, but it's like, this is simple business and it's not being negotiated in a professional way, because so much of the things that are going on behind the scenes have been leaked to the press. And you're posting stuff on Instagram, you're posting stuff on Twitter, and it's like, I wouldn't have cared if an individual player posted in their story and was like, you don't want to share, Adam Silver. But the fact that the WNBPA, who represents all of the players in the league, is doing that, it's just so messy. And when stuff like this continues to happen, it makes me think, will there not?
Adding another layer of complexity, Rebecca Lobo, a respected voice in women's basketball, noted that players finally possess leverage in these negotiations, a stark contrast to past CBAs where the NBA could, in her words, pull the rug and effectively end the league. Yet this very statement inadvertently underscores the WNBA's historical reliance on the NBA's financial support. While players may feel more empowered now, Lobo's admission reveals a fragile foundation, suggesting that without continued NBA backing, the league's existence might still be precarious. This delicate dependency adds immense pressure to the current negotiations, where too much friction could have dire consequences. The speaker also contrasted the often draining WNBA drama with the breath of fresh air experience covering the NBA. The sentiment clearly conveyed a desire for more focus on the game and less on the constant high-stakes theatrics that often overshadow the athletic prowess within the WNBA. This perspective highlights a significant challenge for the league, maintaining fan engagement and attracting new audiences when off-court controversies frequently dominate headlines. It's a plea for a return to basketball, for the opportunity to celebrate the sport without the exhausting backdrop of continuous messy disputes, allowing the game to speak for itself. The messy public spats between the WNBPA and the league, particularly the childish social media clapbacks, threaten to derail the incredible momentum generated by stars like Caitlyn Clark. Her undeniable power, highlighted by Forbes, is a golden ticket for the WNBA's future. Yet, if the league prioritizes drama over professional negotiation, if transparency remains elusive, and if the very players who drive the viewership continue to feel undervalued, that momentum could dissipate. The question isn't whether Caitlyn Clark can stun, it's whether the WNBA can get out of its own way to harness her unparalleled impact for long-term growth.